Hello and welcome to the Tech Glow Up. I'm Nathan C. I'm here at Augmented World Expo 2026, and I'm here for a catch-up with Amir Khorram of XREAL. Amir, it's great to see you in person.
Great to see you in person as well.
And it's great to see what I believe is Project Aura on
You are
the
seeing,
table.
I made this mistake yesterday. It is now just Aura.
Well, thank you.
XREAL Aura, no more project.
There's an aura about you, Amir.
It's evolved out of the project phase, and now it is just Aura.
Heck yeah. Well, that's a glow up on its own.
Absolutely.
How have you been since we talked last?
Well, all has been great. Thank you for asking. It's been an amazing, when was it that we spoke? A couple of months ago?
Yeah.
Yeah, a few months ago, but a lot has happened in the last few months. You're the first person who always messages me and says, you're announcing something new, another new announcement. XREAL is definitely not short on exciting announcements and just product rollouts, and we have some of those here on the table. Obviously, we're going to talk probably mostly about Project Aura, but we do have a couple of our latest and greatest devices, like our XBX here, which is kind of an entry-level consumer device, and our very, very slick and polished collaboration with ASUS, which is called the R1. So those are out in the wild now. They're available for people to try out and experience. But most importantly, this is Aura, and it is here. And as you mentioned, we're here at AWE, and we have it on full display and demo at our booth with Qualcomm in collaboration with Qualcomm. And maybe for some of the viewers that don't know, Aura is a really impressive collaboration between XREAL, Google, and their Android XR operating system and ecosystem, and Qualcomm. So everyone has come together for this amazingly impressive lightweight wearable that is a full AR 6-DoF device. And for me, selfishly, it is a phenomenal enterprise device. It is an enterprise-ready product, right? I could talk, and we've got amazing talking points and highlights on the consumer stuff and all the exciting apps and experiences that are coming to Aura. But for me, I really try to stay focused on the enterprise side of things and how this device, I think, will make big leaps and bounds and use cases across the business world, education, healthcare, you name it. So,
what parts of Aura are really unlocking spatial computing for enterprise?
So it's a great question. So some of the cool things about Aura has 2 SLAM cameras here for mapping the room, for spatial anchoring. So when you're talking about maybe a remote assistance scenario where somebody's wearing it and they're working on their car, they're repairing a refrigerator, they're working on a jet engine in a factory, these cameras can actually map the space and can allow either themselves or somebody who's remoting in to help them to anchor and position markers and directions and different things like that around the environment that they're working on. Has an RGB camera here. Because it's an Android XR device, it has Gemini. It has a full suite of development tools for developers to bring their content over to Aura. And I'd say some of the things, and I talked about this yesterday in a little panel that we did with Google and Qualcomm, end-to-end, Aura is a phenomenal device for the enterprise in that it has MDM integration already. So some of our close friends here that are at the conference, like Manage XR and Arbor XR, we know and we love those guys and work very closely with their teams. It has MDM integration so that companies can bring Aura into their organization and scale it and manage it appropriately like you would your laptops and your tablets and other devices. It has enterprise-ready features like kiosk mode and creating custom app stores only for the employee experience. So it allows devices not to kind of get used too far outside of what maybe the intention is within the organization. And then I would say even most importantly is the gold standard Android data privacy, security, safety record, right? This is an Android device essentially. And so for industries like financial services, healthcare, you name it, where there's an extremely high bar to get your device in there because they want to make sure the data is being handled appropriately. Well, there's hundreds of millions of Android devices being used around the world and significant percentage of that in those industries. So Project Aura is enterprise ready.
70% of this industry typically uses an Android device.
Yes, it's true. Very true. Yeah.
I love it. The ability to craft, to package, to remove those like onboarding gaps and barriers, right? So the joke about introducing new technologies is often like before you can use the training, you have to train how to use the new
Right,
technology.
right.
And like having a dedicated store where you can only, access the business apps
Yeah.
that you need, knowing that you can control and manage your data like you need to, being able to deploy multiple devices at
Yeah.
a time rather than like going to an app store on hundreds of different
Exactly.
phones.
Yeah.
Is like,
Absolutely.
those are like the things that if you're not working in enterprise, maybe doesn't come to mind in an
true.
everyday
Yeah, very true.
product mind. But those are like immediate deal breakers.
Yeah, spot
when you're
on.
trying to talk to.
Absolutely. We've seen in our industry and others, cool tech that tries to make a pivot into the enterprise, but they skip over those steps. And those are steps you cannot skip when it comes to deployment and scale and management of devices.
One of the things that's striking just from looking at it is a lot of the sort of industrial heads-up use cases that you described, I'm used to seeing as like very dedicated, like helmets computers.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And this is starting to get into that form factor where like the hardware is blending in more than it's like something you have to strap on.
You're spot on, and I think this topic has come up a little bit in the last few weeks. I think where we're at as an industry is a really exciting moment because it's not just us, right? There's Meta Ray-Bans and Snap, specs have launched, and there's Aura on the market now. But the lightweight form factor, I truly believe what it's doing is bringing more users into our industry. I feel like over the last 6-7 years, a lot of companies have just been kind of rolling out updated devices to the same audience. We've been kind of entertaining the same believers who already believe in XR. Whereas this right here, what you're seeing, should and will expand the audience and bring more people into this world in the enterprise with a lighter weight form factor, something they can wear more comfortably, something they can do more with than maybe just a one application type of helmet.
Oh,
Yeah.
I love that. The slightly pointed opinion there reminds me that we're on the tech glow up.
Yes.
And I've been asking everyone I've been chatting with about the glow up that they want to see the spatial industry take in the next 6 to 12 months. And this focus on enterprise, maybe we continue there for the industry as a whole, right? Like there's some options, there's some good partners.
Absolutely.
But it's still early in many regards. So to get to this connected AR, smart glasses, and wearables era in the enterprise, what else does the industry need to be doing? How should spatial leaders step up to meet the enterprise?
That's a great question. I think across the board, more serious support and investment in the development community is critical. I think, we all see and understand the partnerships and the expertise and the creativity that the developers bring to our space, but I don't know if across the industry there is the same level of like support and investment in not only launching that content, but helping that content grow and flourish, right? So I think that's important. I think the other important thing to remember is that our industry, there's a huge pie to be carved up. And I don't think anyone succeeding in this industry needs to be at the detriment of others. Meaning there's lots of opportunity for development, for multiple developers in each vertical. There's lots of opportunity for hardware players in this space to win and grow. So I don't think we're at the point yet where there needs to be one lead developer in one industry, one expert in one space or use case. There's a lot of exciting development going on, and it's also going on globally. That's the really cool thing that I come back around to this often. In my role, I get to work with developers and distributors and buyers and people deploying and innovating literally from every corner of the world. And I think we have such an amazing global community that I don't think we stop enough and like look around and think, wow, we're working with customers in India, we're working with developers in Germany, we're working with schools in Latin America, we're working with healthcare providers in Asia. It's mind-blowing, the global reach of our industry. I think that also we need to support that and promote that more.
Oh my goodness. You said two of the things that are like founding principles for what I do, which is right that you have to support creators and the makers who help translate what is possible to like what is delightful and
Right.
usable and impactful. And that's like the creators, the developers,
Yeah.
the designers who really get that connection, right? And then the community is really everything.
Absolutely.
And I love that even for enterprise,
Yeah.
right? If you want to see spatial computing win,
Yeah.
if you want to like see that version of connected experiences that we've been talking about, that there is plenty of room to come together.
Yes, absolutely.
To approach those hard problems
Yeah.
and to like push it forward. So like if you're maybe feeling down about the moment or like confused about where it's going,
Yeah.
it's a great time to get together and like build.
I'm
and
trying
deliver.
more and more right now to bring together developers who can solve problems together. And I'm not saying this as though this is something like big initiative I'm working on, but there's been some scenarios and some opportunities where bringing developers together to go win a deal has actually been the best path forward. And I think to your point that you were just making, if there's somebody who is maybe looking at an industry, I want to build or I'm trying to build classroom curriculum and it's so hard because these other players in this space are so much bigger. There's still opportunity. There's massive opportunity. There's massive space left in these verticals. And maybe there's even space for people to go in and collaborate together and go win deals together and fill maybe some of the design or innovation gaps that one team has that the other team doesn't. And they can kind of collaborate on these ops. So.
You don't have to do enterprise innovation alone.
Exactly. You really don't. You really don't. Yeah.
You know, in some of the industries that you talk about, like healthcare being one,
Yeah.
like it's outrageous to think that there would be a two-player deal.
Right.
Right. There's usually 7 or 10
Yeah.
or more.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
what is the glow up that you're working on in your work today or in the next 6 to 12 months?
Yeah.
What are we going to be catching up on the next time I celebrate another big announcement?
So listen, right now, the stage that we're at with Aura is we are in this catalyst program, like laser focused drive right now, which is, and it's open to everybody. And the doors close essentially on the Catalyst program at the end of June. If you go online and Google Android XR Catalyst program, you'll find it. But right now, anybody who wants to develop on Aura, anybody who wants to develop on Android XR, I highly recommend jumping in there. And the reason I say this is the glow up stage right now, because this is everybody's chance to get into this group and get access to Aura, be able to develop on Galaxy XR across the Android XR ecosystem, and start to get access and support from Google and Qualcomm and XREAL, so that when we do revisit in 6 months and 9 months, we can say, look at all these amazing experiences that are now available on Aura, right? Look at all these amazing developers that have come from all over the world to build and develop and create and enhance the experiences for the people that are going to be buying this device.
I can't wait to see what happens from this Catalyst program. The idea that like, let's make development and distribution and collaboration easier, right? Like,
That's the
let's
goal.
help people build where they are. Like, I thought of 4 people I want to send your way.
Please do.
Absolutely. Amir, it's always a treat to check in with you.
Thank you.
I
Likewise.
love that we're in person, full fidelity, with real things to talk
Exactly.
about
Very
in
real.
the market.
Yep.
Thank you so much for giving us a peek into the work that you're doing and how you're building collaboration, partnerships, and a fertile environment for developers to take us to the next level of spatial computing.
It's always a pleasure. Thanks for having me on, Nathan. Appreciate
Amazing.
it. Yeah.